What's going on, guys? How are you doing today? And welcome back to another KvK video. Just before we get started, I want to say a massive thank you to all the love and support you guys have shown me in the last video. I've put off doing voice recordings for such a long time because, like so many other people, I hate listening to my own voice being played back, and editing would have been really awkward. But after all the nice comments, it's become so much easier. So what I'm doing here is I'm leaving my guild to go garrison someone in a public guild, because I was scrolling through the map and I saw this guy sending out marches to dead turfs, trying to get resources, maybe find some kills. And if he's sending like full T4 marches, that would be loads of points. And the good thing about sending a garrison is that as long as you have the hospital space, you don't take any dead troops, you only have wounded, and the other person has, you know, like the regular wounded death ratios. I was hoping that he'd be sending maybe cavalry or infantry, because that's what people usually send out to raid their turfs, because either they want to send infantry to get the bigger like army capacity, or they send cavalry so the march is faster. But as you can see from the watchtower, the march is mostly range, which counters my cavalry garrison. But because my march has a leader and good gear, and he's leaderless, I can still do a lot of damage to him. And I also have the familiar that decreases ranged max HP, so that's also pretty useful in this situation. So he hits my garrison, wounds 48k troops, I take out about 204k of his, which is pretty good considering I got countered. If this was an infantry or a cavalry march, I would have 100% wiped this. But that's still about 2.4 million points for me just from that. And the other guy has like 80,000 dead T4 for his stupidity. So here we're trying to solo a 110 mil might player who went into Fiore, and he's doing the thing that most players in Fiore do when we start soloing, which is like spam random teleport to hope that we can't catch them. Unfortunately for me, I have to keep trying to teleport next to him to send my march, because unlike my last account that I was using, I still use it now, I don't have Griffin max on this one. So with my last account, I could send a march from like 300 miles away. The guy would port, so my march hits immediately, and then I could use Griffin to get it back within seconds. But I don't have that here, so I have to keep trying to teleport next to him. Now, the next target looks like an ordinary 75 mil might player, but you guys are not going to believe what he's got for his reinforcements. I'm going to freeze the video on the detailed report so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, this guy has T5 reinforcements, so he probably asked his guild, you know, can someone send me T5 reinforcements so I can take some solos? And then this numpty obviously thought it would be a good idea to give him those troops with such an expensive healing bill, and he got soloed. If you didn't know this, T5 are actually worth double the number of points that T4 are worth in KvK, so wounding or killing one T4 troop is worth 12 points, and winning or killing a T5 troop is worth 24 points. What's even funnier, and you'll see this from the reports in a sec, is that when I first hit him, he had his leader out, so he could probably take some solos. But then on the second hit by my guildmate and on the third hit by me, he doesn't have his leader out, so he sheltered his leader, but left those T4 and T5 troops by his guildmates out just to get squashed. So I can't imagine they'd be too happy about that. This next target was just chilling with no Fury, and it's always quite dangerous to solo targets with no Fury, because if they cap you, then they can just migrate and then you're fucked. In all my years of playing this game, this has to be one of the weirdest troop compositions I've ever seen. I mean, he's just got some T3 and then 2 mil T1 cav, which is really weird because normally if people go heavy T1 then they build T1 range. I wish I'd sent range on the hit, because then I would have killed probably upwards of 2.5 mil. But sadly he shielded before I could hit him again. Now the next target that you're about to see, I'm going to switch over to it now, actually started with around 2.5 million troops, but because my recorder stopped working, it only caught me soloing the last 400k troops, but I was hitting him down from 2.3 mil, so I'll post those reports in just a sec. So this guy is like definition of a troop hoarder, because he started at around 140 mil might with 2.5 mil troops, and like at that might, if you're going to have that many troops, you just don't go into Fury, because you're going to get destroyed. He had his leader out at the beginning of like the solos, but then he sheltered it when he realised that things were going south pretty quickly. Now let's get into the final target of the video, and probably the reason why you clicked on it in the first place. If you saw my community post that I made during KvK, then you'll already have seen this report. But for those of you that haven't, let me quickly explain the backstory here. So I was looking for targets, like I do the whole of KvK, and then Angela posted this target in guild chat that was about 110 mil might, but they didn't have Fury, and so Angela said he's probably a trap. Yeah, Angela's a guy, by the way. So Angela said he's probably a trap, but at that point I didn't care, because there were almost no solo targets and I didn't care if I got capped. So I teleported in, sent a cav solo, and look at the report, guys. 7 million troops. This guy had fucking 7 million troops, which is probably the largest troop count I've ever walked back on before. And like, this isn't like 7 million T1. You can see from the detailed report, this is pure T3 and T2, and not just pure T3 and T2, it's pretty much pure cav range T3 and T2, which makes the fact my cavalry solo walked back a fucking miracle. That shouldn't have happened. Even if I'd sent a full T4 march, I would not have expected that to have survived. Now, he's got no infantry left, so if I sent a range hit next, that would have absolutely flattened him. But unfortunately, as soon as he saw that I walked back, he ported away. He wasn't in Fury anyway, so he could just have shielded at any time. But I'm really salty I couldn't get that range hit in, because that really would have been huge. He's got 2 purple wall heroes, so that's pretty shite, and that definitely contributed to me being able to walk back. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and hope you enjoy watching me play. I'm just gonna let the battle animation run for the outro. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.